Hello, this is Vance, and this is Friday, January the 20th, 2017. These are CL trades for today using the slow hand method for price action. It was, I wasn't here for a portion of the day this morning. I did the update this morning from yesterday, and I had some house guests, so I was kind of busy with them for the time being. So I missed most of this move up. And I didn't get in here till afternoon because that's when they left, and they're going back home. Anyway, I just had them. They just stayed the night, and as a result, when they left, I didn't get back to my sheets here or to my chart until afternoon. So I really only took this trade right here, but I'll talk about that. Some of the other ones that'll go through. It was really an overnight. It was a range, or it was a spike in channel actually. Price trended up. This is really close. This is 6. This morning. As you can see that I wasn't really looking because I did the update. I wasn't really looking at this area right here. It was about 8:30 while I was doing the update. Yeah, somewhere from yesterday. So it was right in this area. I didn't take any of these trades. I wasn't even looking at that. My chart wasn't really up. I just had my chart from yesterday that I was talking about, and so I wasn't really looking. I wasn't looking at the markets. I had no intention of trading this morning, so I didn't really look at it. However, when I came back, there's been a couple of good setups. In hindsight, of course, I wish I would have been trading because I think there was a couple of decent setups. So let me talk about those and go from there. So first of all, the overnight high price was, when I first got here, it was really about, I didn't get here till after about 8:30. Kind of slept in this morning. So somewhere around this area, let me just make this a little bit bigger. Oops, wrong way. I'll just make this a little bit bigger, see if we can get in here a little bit. Right at, this is earlier this morning. This is at 7 a.m. and I wasn't up, but I wanted to show this. You can see that price was moving up. This was the high at the time, and so when price traded back down, you really have a second entry right here, first entry, second entry, and so there wasn't, to get to this top, it's really kind of close to the high, but because we had this relatively strong move overnight, I think this is worthwhile, especially if you see this is kind of the first swing. I mean, the first swing is more like this, but for the overnight, it's a second entry long. It took a little while to work out, and you see it broke up. When price came back down, here's another second entry long, first entry, second entry long right here off the EMA, and off now we have an established trend line in the bottom. So I think that was worth taking. The problem is that when you're in a strong trend, you very seldom get second entries. You probably just mostly get first entries, not many second entries. So, or if you do get a second entry, it's kind of it's more along the lines of a hidden second entry. For instance, this trade here, I mean, it's not really back to the EMA and so forth. I mean, this is really a first entry, but this one right here, this is just a first entry, but you can see price traded down to here, pulled back, went down again, and then immediately turned around. And so this is, even though this is just a first entry, this is worthwhile to trade. Now, we are near the daily highs, but after this strong move up, and this is right, this is 7 o'clock, it's really got to be worth taking. Price sprung right out of here, and now I've got another one here, a second entry. Now, it's away from the EMA, it's away from this trend channel, but after a strong move up like this, and after you have this pullback, it's really close to the open, and it's really close to, 9 o'clock was back here. This is 9 o'clock, was right in this area right here. So when prices open, this is worth taking. I mean, you had this strong move up. You probably get another move up at least. And if you think it from when price did start to move up here from this area, we have the two pullbacks. You're probably going to get another move about the same magnitude, which really did happen. Now, once price got to this new high here, and this is about 9:30, it started to move sideways. So it was really like a spike in channel. Worthwhile taking this one. Another second entry, first entry, pulls back, second entry. Now, the reason I would say that you would take this is because if you look at the, let's take 15 ticks. somewhere in this neighborhood, you can get in and get your stop below support in this area. This would even be worth taking. But anywhere along here would be fine. But once price broke to the new high and we had another hesitation like this, you probably have to be looking that this is now, the strength is running out, and that you want to sell it right about here, somewhere in this neighborhood, looking for a good setup. Here's one that pulls up. And this is a decent place to sell. This is really basically a second entry short. Price moves up here, pulls back, moves up again, and then fails. So you do have room to get out to where this, if you say this is support down here, this double bottom, and so you see room to get out in that bottom. Again, I marked it in green because I think it's a little bit more. Now, as price bounces along this area here, do you go long? Well, not really. I don't agree with the longs. I mean, here's a second entry long, but not a really good signal bar. Here's another second. There's a second entry long right here. First entry pulls back, second entry long right in this area, but you can see it. We have the pullback, and you don't have enough room to get. Well, you do have enough room, but price is kind of moving down here. So you take a trade unless you get a real good turnaround. I don't think at this point in time. A short here, again, another short along this trend channel. Now you've got this trend channel established, and so anytime you get down this area, you have to be thinking short more than anything else. So that's something that I was looking at. Now this trade, let me talk a little bit about this one right here, and I'll just be very quick about it. This is more along the lines of, there's a couple of reasons I went short in this trade. And like this one, you could have taken short again, but this is really like a time issue. This is 11:15 right here in this area. So it's 11:15 a.m. And here, this is 12:38. So this is almost like an hour and 20 minutes later. So you can see that we've got this channel in here, this price is turning over for an hour and 15 minutes, and it's basically 15 ticks. When price comes up to this level, you see we've had bounces off the top of this channel, and earlier this morning, this was an area of resistance. So you think that I thought that we're close to this channel. Price isn't getting up, making any larger highs. We have this area here, so I think that this is just a real push up here, and I think that we're going to have some weakness in that case. So I went short here, and going short was really only 15 ticks. Now, I took my two contracts off really at 15 ticks because I didn't think it was going much further. Got another contract out, so I had a runner, and the runner went another 15 ticks, but it didn't, it just made it. So when price got to the bottom, we did have a turnaround. Now, would you go long here? I didn't really like this one. I think that price, there's too much weakness in this area, and even if you had gone long there, it did work out, but finally, it wasn't something that I was looking at. Anything along here that I was looking at going short, but by this time it was later in the day. This is after 2, and that's pretty much it. So there wasn't a lot of trades today. I can't know what account. Maybe it was because of the inauguration today. People were watching the President-elect Donald Trump being sworn into office, perhaps, and they weren't at their trading stations, as you can see. But so there wasn't really a lot of trades, especially when you got into this area here. I mean, certainly you could have sold here. Certainly you could have bought down at the bottom. I would, this is, that you could have, if you were to limit in, you could limit in at these areas. But anytime you do that, you really have to really make sure that your limit orders are down there ready to trigger when price gets down here. Now, on this one, I don't know if I would do that. This one, perhaps, when price is moving sideways. But anytime you have overlap like this, you have these bars like this, price can go either way. I'd rather see. This is a difficult one to take a look at unless you're really willing to trade at the fringes. And you can see that had you gone long here, you wouldn't have got your first contracts off. Here you would have, but it took a while to work out. You can see this overlap here, and you might have gotten shaken out of this trade. This one here, going long, you probably only got a few ticks before it turned against you. So again, you have to really be cautious. But now, when price got down here, it really did bounce back into this area. So that's something to really keep in mind as well. But for the future, at least. This trade here, there's something else I wanted to show. I took a snapshot. I was talking to somebody while this was going on. I'll show you my chart that I took a snapshot on for the entry, because the entry was right here. And what I wanted you to pay attention to is the fact that I reloaded this just again. my tick data is a little off from what it was this morning, and I wanted to show you something. I've often talked about this being a double top on a higher time frame, but it can also be a double top when the tick data isn't coordinated from what it was this morning. This is now, but this is the data from this morning, and I'll show it to you. So right here, you can see that. Let me make this a little, if you can, right here. So you can see this. This is where I entered, right on this, like I had a limit order in here. It clicked in and then went down. And of course, it's gone to target now. And I had this down like down in this area for, just as a runner. But the point is that you see these double tops here? See these two bars side by side on this chart? This is the same chart, 800 tick, but you can see in this area, it's up and then down. So just by a matter of however it was, maybe 20 ticks or 30 ticks, you see a different type of bar. So when I talk about these areas like this, price going up, it really can be on a different, just even a different chart where the tick data just started to accumulate a little differently. You'd see bars going up and coming back down. So that's why I say it's important to look at this. It could be this is a double bottom on a higher time or lower time frame. And so anytime you get something like these little spike down, it's like where price went down and came back up. So that's something to really keep in mind. That's why I pay attention to these. So if using that as an example, when you look at areas like this, these bars overlapping like this, you could see this be a group, but on a different time frame, this could be a bear bar with a bull bar, with a bear bar, with a bull bar. So you see that's what I mean by overlap. So these spikes or these tails like this side by side, these are like overlap, and on a different time frame would look like a bar like this, like a solid bar. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at these when you're trying to read a 800 tick chart. I've got nothing else to talk about at the moment. slowhandmethod@gmail.com. That's my email address. Send me an email. I'm going to do the program for Mindful Trading. I'm still accepting applications for the time being. I'm going to have those packages out within the next day or two. Let me know. I want to start this program within the next week or so. I want to. People have been asking me questions about this, and so hopefully I'll be able to kind of get this geared up so I can start showing some people how I trade, in reference to being mindful and being patient and looking for the entries and hopefully trying to be profitable. So let me know. Again, send me an email to slowhandmethod@gmail.com. I'll get back to you, send you the information, and then we can go from there. Hope you had a good day. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.